Hello, everyone. Welcome to Sunday Assembly. Welcome back. We've had a bit of a break over August, so great to see so many people joining us again today. We've got, the usual things to expect for a Sunday Assembly. It's all very exciting. We've got amazing speakers with amazing songs. We'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. But first of all, we're just going to give everyone a few moments just to get in and get settled and hear everything and all that. I'd love to know where everyone's coming from. So whereabouts in the world. That's the magic of Zoom, right? It's the magic of the internet. You can attend from anywhere in the world, and we have got a world-class lineup. I can tell you that much right now. So pop it in the chat. Let's see where everyone are. Straight off the bat, Jake J from the USA. How about that? Not bad. We got Canada. Sherry from Canada. Wow. And Guildford, just down the cat sitting. Oh, Becky, cat sitting. I love that. Do that all the time, any chance I get. We got Dartford, we got Liverpool, we got Sheffield, the Black Isle in Scotland. What a place. What a place. Hove on the south coast. Rotherhithe, just down the corner from me. That did someone. And Deborah coming from New Zealand. What an amazing place. I was born there, actually. I know. Cotswolds, Walthamstow, Croydon. Gosh, we've got some amazing places. We get everywhere happening here today. Happening here. Epping Forest, Tottenham. And what have you been doing? Actually, what have you all been doing over the August month, other than sort of basking in the time that we had a little bit of sun? Has anyone got up to anything exciting? If you have, jot that in the chat as well. I'm sure that we've been doing exciting things. The rest of Annie Perez has been doing the social distancing dance party. If you know what that is, our friend and colleague Ian Joliet puts that on and does an amazing job every weekend. Does this social distancing dance party. It's something that he's been doing for a while. Sunday Assembly is our motto, our creed, if you like, is help often, live better, and wonder more. And that's pretty much what we hope you've all been doing in the time that we've been out. And that's certainly what we hope we're going to just sort of really embed those values in this sort of session that we've got coming up for you today. I'm going to talk more about that in a moment. But as everyone joining in, yes, everyone, lovely comments coming out on the chat here. Lovely to see everyone. It is really good. The URL for the social distancing dance party there as well. Okay. It wouldn't be Sunday Assembly without starting off with a song. And we all like a song. And what we've been doing, we've been creating special songs for us all to sing. So let's have a bit of a shake and a bit of a boogie. And let's listen to our first great tune. It's Are You Gonna Go My Way? From originally sung by Lenny Kravitz. Just need the sound on. Don't think we still have the sound on this one.
Aaron, we might need to start over. We're not getting any sound.
It's okay. Wouldn't be Sunday Assembly. We've still got more. Yeah, there we go. We'll sort those a little bit of gremlins out in a moment. It's working fine earlier. Let me just see. We've got it going again.
I'm the chosen, I'm the one. I have come to save the day, and I won't leave until I'm done. So let's run, we've got to try. You've got to breathe and have some fun. No, I'm not paid, I play this game, and I won't stop until I'm done. Are you gonna go my way?
Yay. What a way to start back with a little bit of Jimi Hendrix. Absolutely amazing singing and guitar there. Superb stuff. Drum, amazing. What a fantastic way to start. But, and here's the thing, what's better than one song? What's better? Give us a shout, give us a sign. 2 songs. That's what I reckon is better than
2
one
songs.
all day long. 2 songs. Let's have another one.
Darling, you've gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I go? If you say that you are mine, I'll be here till the end of time. So you gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I go? It's always tease, tease, tease. You're happy when I'm on my knees. One day it's fine and next it's black. So if you want me off your back, well, come on and let me know. Should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble. And if I stay, it will be double. So come on and let me know. This indecision's bugging me. If you don't want me, set me free. Exactly whom I'm supposed to be. Don't you know which clothes even fit me? Come on and let me know. Should I cool it or should I blow? Split. Should I stay or should I go now? Should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble. If I stay, it will be trouble. So you gotta let me know. Should I cool it or should I blow? Should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble. And if I stay, it will be trouble. So you gotta let me know. Should I stay or should I
Yeah.
Muy bien.
Got to unmute myself. Absolutely love it. What a way to start with a little bit of head banging. I used to do that back in the day, actually. A little place called Clarks's in Wakefield. That was my place to go, and they'd have those songs on pretty much every single Monday night, because that's what we did in Wakefield. It was every single Monday night. Yay, West Yorkshire! A bit of a shout out there on the chat. And I mean, I wasn't, you know, like a trendy kid, but I would try my best. You know, I would try my best. In fact, it's a good segment actually. I'm just going to get a good try my best later. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Fantastic, yeah, fantastic productions, amazing videos, all made by members of the community, and we've been doing this since we went into lockdown, actually, yeah, we've been sort of trying different ways on these little virtual assemblies. And I tell you what, we've been building our collective expertise in video production and putting things together and editing like there's no tomorrow. It's the best learning experience that you're probably ever going to get when it comes to video production. Just join Sunday Assembly, if nothing more, for that. There's other reasons, not least for the fantastic lineup that we've got on today. So as I said earlier, our values are live better, help often, and wonder more. And we try to incorporate those values, within every assembly that we do, really. We want to create that fun community, that safe community, which incorporates fun with a little bit of learning and just community all round. So I think we've got a number of guest speakers. The speaker that we got going up to coming up next is going to be Deborah Emmanuel. I'll introduce you in a moment, Deborah, but all the way from New Zealand via Singapore. Very exciting. Main speaker Lindsay Jordan, who I'm delighted to see with us. I'm really looking forward to her talk all the way from UAL. We have this much I know from David Emmanuel, and he'll be talking to us later as well. We've also got our traditional things, right? We're never going to not do the community notices. No, not. We're always going to do those. We've got Ange is going to give those for us today. We've got some more songs. We've got a little bit of a poll at the end because we just want to get some feedback at the end. And then at the end, we've also got a bit of a chat. If we were live in Conway Hall, we'd have tea and biscuits at the end, and we'd have a nice bit of chat. But we don't have, the Conway Hall at the moment. We do have tea and biscuits, hopefully within your own home. So we'll break out and have a chat if you want to do that at the end. So we've got a fun lineup. It's a great lineup, and we've had a big start. So I'm going to pass over now all the way from New Zealand via Singapore, and it's Deborah Emmanuel. She's an artist, she's a poet, she's a theatre maker, and she's going to kick us off with her performance piece. So over to you, Deborah.
Hello. Forgive my lighting. We live off solar. So obviously we conserve. This is a poem called They Call Us Freeborn. It uses a song from a woman called Vera Hall called Trouble So Hard. Some of you might recognize it. Moby sampled it once upon a time. Oh Lord, trouble so hard. Oh Lord, trouble so hard. Yes, indeed, my trouble is hard. Yes, indeed, my trouble is hard. Oh Lord, trouble so hard. Oh Lord, trouble so hard. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. This is for the God seekers, the ones at the altar, kneeling on the cusp of the void. This is for the God seekers, the ones running from the explosions inside, but maybe we feel that isn't us. We are freeborn, unsworn to singularity, no monotheistic veil. We are secular society. There is no church here. We pray to science. There is no worship, but we worship the violence of winning, of knowing we are right. We worship the books which fuel our mind fights, and God comes in many forms, like the gleam of that gold watch or the 562 likes on your screen, the green of a leaf pushing against heavy cold, a stoic soldier, an awakened woman, a single father and his hungry children, the future light of that next promotion. We are all reaching for largeness. We are all slaves to something. Went down the hill hill the day my soul got happy and stayed all day. Went down the hill the day my soul got happy and stayed all day. But you say slavery is dead. They tell us no person is bred into bondage while you sit chained to that desk and try to ignore your body needs rest. Like my brother from Dhaka dangling from the hot rope outside your window, like the sister from Cebu caring for her cousin's crying child since her cousin had to move to Singapore to cook for a family which is less poor. You say there are no slaves here. This is a free country. Each participant is willing to contribute calloused hands to build this great wall. Every man has the right to resist the army, to place their own steps. Truth is, slave fathers make slave sons, slave systems make slave citizens. Truth is, we are conditioned to evade punishment, gain reward, work harder to grasp freedom. Truth is, we are so enraptured with reaching, we barely feel the bite of the chain. Went in the room, didn't stay long, looked on the bed and brother was dead. Went in the room, didn't stay long, looked on the bed and brother was dead. Do not watch when another brother falls. Do not rejoice it wasn't you. Do not wait for your master to free you. Do not sit in the palm of God or it will crush you. Too many of us have sculpted God from money. Too many of us think numbers are power, that abundance is a formula without a heart, that reality is inherited from a father's mind castle. Well, I will not listen to any father who says money over life, money over challenge, money over love, money over honesty. I will not follow instructions like don't look at them, don't smile. I seek the eyes of slaves and send love with my gaze. I will not be complicit in this prison of invisibility. They call us freeborn, but we are not born into freedom. We are born into oppressive myths, gifted with grandmother tongue. We are born into conformity, into some other man's rules. We are born into families with more or less capital. We are born into inequality, and we have to fight it, especially if we were born as free as we are. Oh Lord, trouble so hide. Oh Lord, trouble so hide. Yes, indeed, my trouble is hide. Yes, indeed, my trouble is hide. Oh Lord, trouble so hide. Oh Lord, trouble so hide. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Don't nobody know my troubles but God. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely astonishing prose there from Deborah. Thanks so much for joining us all the way from New Zealand to give us that really rendition. That was absolutely incredible, and really grateful that you could join us. And I think we're going to put some details in the links, and Deborah can be found at deborahemmanuel.com.
Stuff.
Where you can learn more about her work and her amazing work. That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for doing that, and really evocative in New Zealand. And it's nighttime there, where it's we usually meet in the morning, right? That's a thing we do at Sunday Assembly. It's like getting out of bed, weary-eyed, getting up at 11 o'clock on a Sunday.
No, we're not at the moment.
We have some great speakers, and Deborah just the first of them. We're going to go now, and we'll put some links in here as well, to our next speaker. She's a senior lecturer at UAL, and we've sort of based the theme around work that Lindsay has done today. The theme is sit on the fence or take a stand, and Lindsay's going to tell us a little bit more about that topic now. So, Lindsay, over to you.
myself. There we go. Okay, you can all hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Good, excellent. Okay. Yeah, so as Stuart said, I'm a senior lecturer at the University of Arts. I've been there for about 11 years, and I've been recently finishing off my doctoral thesis on the purpose of universities. And I became interested in disagreements about maybe 5 years ago now. It was the 2015 general election. I was at an election night party down in Bookham in Surrey. And it was a very strange party. There were people from all different political persuasions there. I wasn't expecting the result that came in at the exit poll. You might remember it was a Conservative majority. The prediction was a hung parliament. I'd actually been campaigning down in Brighton for Caroline Lucas, and I'd read her wonderful book, Honourable Friends, which I really thoroughly recommend. It really lifts the lid on Parliament and how it works, and all the privilege that's kind of there, and how it how archaic everything is. I was kind of secretly hoping for a Labour landslide, and obviously that didn't happen. But no one was expecting a Conservative majority, and there was an air of shock at the party. And I found it quite interesting the way I felt. I actually didn't feel distressed. I felt kind of excited, and my feeling surprised me. I thought, why do I feel excited? And I guess it was the sense of, wow, I realised it was such a shock. I realised that I'd kind of read the political landscape completely wrong, and I must have been just existing in my bubble, as a lot of people were. And so it was a question of possibility, I think. Like if anyone's seen the film Monsters, Inc., there's this wonderful scene at the beginning where there's all these doors, and they're all kind of flying around everywhere, and you can go through any door and into someone's life. And I guess I was at this party with all these people who I wouldn't normally have hung out with, and I saw them as doors of possibility, going into their minds and finding out, what their hopes and dreams were, what they were scared of, what made them tick, and why they voted the way they did. So my research took me to the Conservative Party conference later that year, which I wrote about on my blog. If anyone's kind of interested to read about that, then let me know, and I'll put the link. I'll probably put the link in the chat later. So then my research took me into kind of looking at disagreement around the purpose of universities, which is quite meta, because a lot of people will say that universities are for disagreement. Immanuel Kant said that they were spaces of peaceful conflict. So that's a big part of what people see universities as being. So the topic for today is whether we take a stand or we sit on the fence, which is better. So let's have a think about what that means, because this fence idea is a metaphor. We talk in metaphor a lot. The experts on metaphor, George Lakoff and Mark Johnson, Metaphors We Live By, another fantastic book. And they talk about, they reveal the fact that we talk in metaphor all the time. And what's quite interesting in the English language is when we talk about conversation in English, we use metaphors that are quite warlike. So they're about kind of battle and defense and attack. Whereas in other languages, say, for example, Italian, their metaphors are more kind of like, say, a dance or the tending of a fire. So the way in which we talk about conversation is different in different languages and different cultures. So is not necessarily, the same for everyone, what we mean when we talk about kind of sitting on the fence or taking a stand. So I want us to, if you've got a pen and a piece of paper to hand, grab it. If not, don't worry, you can just do a sketch in your mind's eye. I want you to sketch out, I'm not going to ask you to show it, don't worry, it can be as rubbish as you like. A fence, sketch a person, just a stick person sat on the fence, and one person either side. And the reason I'm getting you to do this is just because it's getting the concept out of your head and giving us a more solid focal point for the imagination to work, okay? So very, very quickly, just fence, and I've done one here, there we go. That's mine. See, it doesn't have to be good. Okay. So let's engage our imaginations. I want you to think about these three people. Think about how they feel about where they are, and think about how they feel about the other two people. I also want you to think about how it benefits them to be where they are. And, you know, this might need a specific example for you to think about. So say, for example, you know, something you either feel strongly about or you're not sure about. You know, say, for example, how you feel about abortion or religion. How does it benefit you to be where you are? Either whether that's on the fence. How does it benefit you to be on the fence? How does it benefit you to be off the fence? Okay. And the reason I'm asking you to think about that is because this is, you know, real high-tech stuff here, paper clips and cards. Right, there we go. Okay, how does it benefit you to be where you are? And this is something we don't often share when we're in conversation with people. We often focus on our position and what we think is the issue at stake, but we don't really share our positionality. And I think, you know, how our position benefits us is a really important, probably the most important aspect of that positionality. So I'm going to park that one for now, and we'll come back to it. We'll come back to that sketch in a minute. Let's move on to personality trait theory. Some people call this the 5-factor model. Where is it? It's on the other side of that. Yeah, the big 5 personality traits: extroversion, agreeableness, openness, neuroticism, and conscientiousness. And this was developed in 1961. It's very well established. The basic principle is that, you know, they've shown through twin studies that this is kind of half genetics, half environment. And these 5 character traits are pretty much stable throughout your adult life. Very, very interesting thing here that I want to point out is openness is not the same thing as agreeableness. And another philosopher, Tim Williamson, showed this in this fantastic book where he's imagined this conversation between 4 people on a train, which he calls a tetralogue. And through this book, he's showing through this character called Zach, who is, you know, seems very, very agreeable. He's kind of, everyone's entitled to their opinion. He's, you know, not disagreeable in any way. But he shows through that tetralogue that actually Zach is very closed. He's not, in being agreeable, he's not actually engaging seriously with the arguments at hand. So yeah, there we go. Openness and agreeableness, not the same thing. Something to bear in mind. Right, now I am resistant to binary assumptions about gender as the next person, but I thought it was worth sharing this with you, although it is actually probably the least rigorous piece of research I'm going to cite. So it was a Baltimore radio station asked the question of men and women, what can't you stand about each other? Women said of men, cleanliness or lack of. Men said they didn't like the way that women argued. Specifically, that they say they're fine when they're not, and then they cry to win the argument. Yeah, maybe that's something to think about. But feminist theory has a lot to say about argument as well. Simone de Beauvoir said that patience is a feminine quality that actually stems from women's oppression. And but it's a precious quality that we should retain through our liberation. There's a great book here that came out of the 80s called Women's Ways of Knowing by 4 women. And they make the point about separate and connected ways of knowing. Now, it's important, feminist theory was important in the 80s because, you know, a lot of this philosophy and psychology and everything was being produced by men and published by men. So this was readdressing the balance. And the argument was that, you know, women tend towards a more connected way of knowing. There's stuff about forbearance there and childbearing you know, being an inactive action. So we'll go back to that diagram about being on the fence. If you're on the fence, are you actually being completely passive or are you actually doing something? You know, what are you thinking about? What are you attending to? What are you connecting? And if someone else is sat on the fence, do we assume that they're just passive, or do we assume that they are making connections and you know, knowing in a connected way and attending to things? A philosopher, one of my favorite philosophers, Hans Georg Gadamer. He lived all throughout the last century. He was German. So he had a few concepts that are really relevant to this. One was about a fusion of horizons. So he saw your perspective as being a horizon, another metaphor, and that we all have different horizons, and that we owe it to each other. There's an ethic, there's a very playful ethic of actually fusing your horizon with someone else and engaging with their horizon. And this is important when we bear in mind kind of the psychology stuff, all this stuff about how we explain each other. He says that we should try and put that to one side. If we want to really understand each other, then we can't objectify them. We can't think, oh, you think that because of this, or, this is your personality type, so this is the way you think. That explanation actually precludes genuine understanding. Right, last point. See, if this was PowerPoint, I wouldn't have this problem. Right, okay, yeah, reason and emotion. You might have heard of Jonathan Haidt's and his moral foundations theory. So he's got 5 moral foundations. And the purpose of this is really kind of to bring in the idea of emotion and the fact that, emotion is often, ruling our behavior. Emotion is like an elephant. It's very, very heavy. And you have a rider that's like reason, and it can try and direct the elephant. But if the elephant wants to go a particular way, there's very little the rider can do to actually stop it. And another piece of fantastic research, Eleanor Gordon-Smith did this research on catcalling, where she engaged with people like builders, white van drivers who catcalled her, and she asked them why they were doing it, because she just assumed that they would know that women don't like that. And she found it incredibly difficult to persuade them that women didn't actually enjoy it. She was using all her reason, but it just wasn't working. So, there's some interesting stuff about kind of what is the point in engaging with argument and how we do it, if reason isn't as effective as we think it is. So, quick summary of where we've got to, because I'm out of time. So, yeah, picture where you are, but also what that means, particularly how does it benefit you, and share that in conversation with your conversation partner. 2, remember that agreeableness and openness are not the same thing. You can be agreeable, but that might mean that you're not actually engaging with the arguments, and not engaging with this ethic of play. Sitting on the fence doesn't have to be passive. Think about what you're attending to, what are you connecting. Share this in conversation as well. You can engage with the conversation without taking a stand necessarily, if you can talk about the connections that you're making and what you're attending to. Resist the urge to objectify your interlocutors, resist the urge to explain them to themselves or yourself. They are a human being, and you owe them this playful fusion of horizons. And finally, remember the elephant. Okay, that's me done.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit not best.
Very good.
Lindsay. Lindsay, thanks so much for that amazing talk. Absolutely, fascinating stuff. And I think that I love the visual, metaphor of the fence and some of the, the references that you threw in there as well. Lots of comments on the chat for some of the books you referenced. I think we might be wanting to tap you for a bit of a reading list, actually, by the looks of it. I think there's quite a few interested folk here and lots to think about. And I think, to be honest with you, there is so much to think about. We often like to do a moment of reflection at Sunday Assembly where we just, take a moment, we just, at peace with ourselves, and we just call to mind whatever it is that we want to call to mind for just a moment of solitude and reflection. So I think that's probably what we'll do now. So yeah, just a minute or so for our moment of reflection. Thank you, everyone. So we're coming to our next speaker now. It's a member of the community. We have a member of the community talks, we call it This Much I Know. And today it's David Emmanuel who will be telling us his story. So David, straight over to you. I just need to come off mute, David.
There we go. I think that's better. Yes, thumbs up. Great. Okay, so thank you, Stuart, for that introduction. Yes, this is what I know, and I'm going to start by telling you a very, very quick story about what's happened to me over the last 3 months, and it all began with a 7-year-old Maine Coon cat called Loki. Now, lots of us out there are cat lovers. I've got 2. I'm currently down to 1 for reasons that I will explain. Now, he went missing on the 17th of May. And little did I know, I thought cats just go for a wander, don't they? There's no real harm in that. He'd done it before. He'd be back in a couple of days. I felt sure. Little did I know at that point that within 2 weeks my life had been completely turned upside down. And this has left me, and you'll find out why, determined to effect change for the better lives of animals and their humans. But as I say, there's a missing cat, who then we got a tip off after a couple of weeks that a cat charity had been collecting strays in the area. I sent off a very spurious email, going on the off chance, is it possible that you've seen this cat? Because they were operating completely out of their area. They're from Waltham Abbey. I live in Walthamstow. That whilst they sound very close, they're actually miles and miles apart. And I said, okay, is there any chance that you've seen this cat? And they came back and said, yes, but we've rehomed him. Which was extremely shocking and distressing for me. I'm not going to name the charity for reasons that they're not here today to put their side of the story forward. So I'm going to be very fair to them and not name them. But they refused to even dialogue with me on the cat, on Loki. And then they started saying stories like, there's a young child where he's been rehomed who's fallen in love with him. Then when I said, well, really, that's I was a little firm and said, that's not my problem. That's your problem to deal with. They've had the cat days. This is, I've had him 7 years. Then they said, there's very large vet bills that need to be paid. You're better off just walking away. And I said, I don't care how much it costs. I want my cat back. And what we've established is that there are 5 other cases of various rescues around the country that I now know of. This is common. You get rogue rescues, and what we've uncovered the fact that anyone can pick up a trap off Amazon for £25–30 and set themselves up as a rescue. Or, £500, and it's a little more difficult. You can set yourself up as a charity with relative ease, only a little more difficult than setting yourself up as a limited company over here. And then you've got that gravitas of being a charity or a rescue, and people expect that you know what you're talking about, when actually I could do this for £25 off Amazon in my back garden, We discovered that there's people called trappers. They're not called rescuers. They call themselves trappers with a capital T. Their job is to trap cats and take them to shelters for rehoming, and not reunification. The Cats Protection League reunites about 30% of the cats it finds, which is the RSPCA have a duty to return about 30%. Now, what we've found is that various charities are looking at 1 to 2% reunification, which is unbelievable. So where am I in all this? trying to get my cat back. There's a court battle, police are involved, MPs involved. What have I learned? That I could have just walked away. I could have said, it's a cat, you know, but actually it's a member of my family. And I couldn't just walk away. But this is bigger than just one cat. As I say, since going public with the story about Loki, there's 5 cases sat on my desk that I know of that are very startlingly similar. And where there's one, there's got to be another and another and another. So very soon, when we get Loki back, and the police now know where he is, which is great. That information has been released to the police, so we're looking for a swift resolution. But for me, the job doesn't slow down. I'm not sitting on the fence. What I've learned is that we are seeking now legislative change. I want training and certification for trappers and rescues, unification of operating protocols, mandatory scanning of cats and dogs, animal theft to be taken more seriously. This path chose me. I didn't choose this path, but I would be doing a great disservice to all the other animals and their humans out there if I didn't continue this fight. Like I say, I didn't choose it, but the one thing I've learned is that sitting on the fence in this case is not an option. Thank you.
Right, I thought that was going to go for
Yeah.
Gosh, David, yeah, what a powerful story, and how emotional must that be? I really hope that gets resonated.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us today. Sorry if you missed a little bit of that. I just forgot to put myself back on mute. But no, thanks once again for all our speakers for joining us today. It's been a brilliant, really, really great Sunday Assembly back. We are going to go, I think, straight into a song, because let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get up and just have a little bit of a sing.
Why you look so sad? Tears are in your eyes. Come on and come to me now. Don't be ashamed to cry. Let me see you through. 'Cause I've seen the dark side too. When the night falls on you, don't know what to do. Nothing you confess make me love you less. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. So if you're mad, get mad. Don't hold it all inside. Come on and talk to me now. Hey, what you got to hide? I get angry too. Well, I'm a lot like you. When you're standing at the crossroads, don't know which path to choose. Let me come along, even if you're wrong. I'll stand by you. I'll stand by you. Won't let nobody hurt you. I'll stand by you. Take me in until your darkest hour, and I'll never desert you. I'll stand by you.
Yeah.
Wow.
There you
Wow.
go.
Absolutely amazing. God, a little bit of a tear in my eye there. That's absolutely, what a beautiful song. Sung by the lovely Charlotte and edited by Tanya, who played the piano on there. And members of the community all coming together to sing different lines there. What an amazing song. Absolutely love that. Thank you so much for doing it. And we're coming to the part where we're just going to tell you a little bit about how, a little bit about Sunday Assembly, and particularly how we raise money and how we keep going. We always do a little bit of an ask at this point, and it's just to sort of, we are a charity. We do a lot of things. A lot of people, put their time in free to make this stuff happen, but we still have costs, to run. So, anything you can give is fantastic. And we've got the sundayassembly.london.com/donate line, handle there. What it would be amazing is if you love Sunday Assembly and if you want to sort of feel that you're able to give some money, there's no obligation at all. Then go to that line and perhaps even become a regular donor, because that really, really gives us the security. It gives us the cushion really that allows us to, to continue in the way that we do. And as you can see, we do a lot of good stuff, and we're really about, building good value for the community. We've also got an ability to text. So if you want to text some supports, I think we've got some of the details have gone into the chat there, but you just text SASEP and then a space, and then whatever amount you want to give. I think 5, 10, 20, whatever amount you want to give to the number 70085. So if you wanted to donate £10, it'd be SASEP, then a space, and then the number 10. At the bottom there of what you can see on the screen, if you would like to give, but you don't want to receive any marketing communications, then just type SASEP, no info, and then space with the number to 70085. And believe me, anything is, it's really, really appreciated, and it helps us keep the Sunday Assembly going, and it's really, really appreciated. So thank you in advance for everyone that's going to give today. So I think what I'll do now is, now that I've told you about that, we've got some information in the chat. I'm going to pass on to the lovely Ange, who's going to tell us what's on Sunday Assembly London.
Hello, hey everyone. So we always have notices. Usually they're a little bit sparkly as well, because we lots of amazing things in the community, which isn't just about this loveliness on a Sunday. So I'm going to tell you about some of the things that are coming up in the next few weeks, and how you can get involved in them. So some of you might know that choir is back. If you love singing, if that's your thing, then choir is on Zoom still. It's 7 o'clock on a Monday. Every Monday, that's then. There is a meetup for choir, and there's also, you can get information from our Facebook group. So new people are always welcome. You can have all kinds of singing voice and still join in. So give it a go. We were really happy that we managed to have 3 picnics over the summer. It was absolutely brilliant to see some of you actually face to face in real life rather than via Zoom. We always like seeing you, but obviously face to face is that bit better. So one of the great things that's going to be going on the 13th, Sunday the 13th, is the walking group is back up and running. Well, they're actually walking, but you know what I mean. So they are doing the Kenley Circular Walk, setting off from Victoria Station at 12 o'clock on the 13th. So there is a Facebook group for that. If you're not on Facebook and you want some information, drop me an email at ange@sundayassembly.com. Thursdays, we still have Thursday mornings, the online Live Better group. If you want to talk about how the current environment is affecting you, or anything else that you just want to chat with people about, you can find out information there. So either again from the Facebook group, or if you email me, I can pass on that information to you. And outside of ours, our lovely assembly here, we have East End. Sunday Assembly East End, who next week on the 13th are having a picnic. So if you don't fancy going walking, there's a picnic and you can find out there, and their book group is straight after then. So it's like a 2-for-1 deal. We've also later in the month, thank you Mitskis, we have Article Club on the 22nd of September and that's at 7:30. So look out for information there, and someone is popping all the details that you need for these things on the chat. Now, most excitingly, our next assembly is going to be a little bit special. I've been calling it the mega, big, gigantic, fantastic assembly because it's not just us. We are coming together with a number of other assemblies from the UK to put on a spectacular event for you all. So you'll find us on the 20th doing our mega, big, gigantic, fantastic assembly with Sunday Assembly Sheffield, hey guys, Edinburgh, hello, Manchester, Plymouth, Brighton, East End, and obviously still us. It's going to be ace. I am just trying to remember. Oh, it's called Come Together Now. Yep, something like that. Anyway, all the details are out there. You can already sign up on the Zoom for the link for that event. We'd love to see you. It's going to be amazing. And that's lots of things. Please let us know if you've got other things going on, and we can pop them on the online calendar on the Sunday Assembly website. If you go to the Sunday Assembly website, sundayassembly.com, you get to our What's On section on there, and it gives you the calendar of joy. So all the events are being popped on there at the moment. So do that. Okay, and we have a newsletter. So if you're not someone who uses social media very often, but wants to find out about all the things that are going on, our newsletter is an absolutely brilliant thing to have. We send them out the Tuesday before our assemblies, and sometimes some extra ones as well. So sign up for that to get all of your info. And just finally, I think you've probably seen that lots and lots of work goes on to run groups, to bring us all together, to make those amazing videos that people are spending a lot of time on. And we're always looking for members of the community to just get engaged with that and join in. So if you fancy doing any of those things, please let Steph know at Stephanie@sundayassembly.com. Drop her an email about that. And if you are interested in getting involved with our communications, that's posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, email me. We're also looking for someone who can lead that team. So if you want to be a comms lead, which means just making a little plan once a week, once a fortnight, and telling people what they can do. Telling people is good. Get in touch with me. So thank you, everyone. It's been great. Lovely to see you all again, and see you soon at one of our things.
Thank you, Ange. Lots going on at Sunday Assembly, as you can see, really getting back into the swing of things now. And you know, super excited about that mega assembly. I have to say, we've got some great work going on around the country, and you heard some of this the places mentioned there: Manchester, Edinburgh, Plymouth, Brighton, Sheffield, East End, loads of different places. So it's going to be a great event for the mega assembly. We're coming to the close. I know. And what better way to finish off? We're gonna have another song. And what better way to finish off this fantastic event by having another song? Let's see.
This one's a get up and dance song.
Let's get up. So it's going to be worth the wait.
Do you remember the 21st night of September? Lovers changing their minds of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts are ringing in the key that our souls are singing as we danced in the night. Remember how the stars stole the night away. Body on, city of remember. Body on, dancing in September. Body on, never was a cloudy day. Body, 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 body. My thoughts are with you, holding hands with your heart to see you. Only blue talking love, remember how we knew love was here to stay. Now December found the love we shared in September. Only blue talking love, remember the true love we share today. Body on, city of remember. Body on, dancing in September. Body on, never was a cloudy day. There was a body on, city of remember. Body on, dancing in September. Body on, golden dreams will shine today. The bell was ringing, our souls were singing. Remember, never a cloudy day. There was a body on, city of remember. Body on, dancing in September. Body on, never was a cloudy day. There was a body on, city of remember. Body on, dancing in September. Body on, golden dreams will shine today. Body on, body on, body on, body on, body on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good God.
Trying to unspotlight myself. Woo! Cancel the
much fun
spotlight.
was
There we go. Hey! Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
How much fun. How much. I think we've got a quick poll to put up. We're going to be, anyone that wants to, stick around. We've got, some breakout groups. We can chat if you want to hang around later. But we've also got a poll that's going to be, put on just so we can get some feedback. And whilst you're doing that, I just wanted to spend a little bit of time, thanking everyone for making this assembly possible. So many people go into just putting these things on. So many people. Not least the people that have, spoken today, but also the people who have spent so much time, organizing it and moderating and putting together those, those videos and things like that. But particular thanks to Deborah Emmanuel, who has, come all the way from New Zealand to be with us via Singapore. She had to sort of leave a bit early. It's quite late over there, but she joined us. Lindsay Jordan, so great to see Lindsay. Her amazing talk. It really sort of gave food for thought for me. This concept of sitting the fence and taking a stand, and I, I've got lots of things, going on that I'm thinking about that. Particularly think about this concept of positions, position that you take and the interests that you have, and how you might do yourself a service really by thinking about what's going on with the other person. Where are they coming from? What is the position that person is taking, and why am I reacting in the way that I'm reacting, and what's happening there. So being able to step back and just look at everything in around, so therefore, you can really, really do yourself a great service, by that. And that's something that I was really taking from that talk. So, thank you, Lindsay, and David Emmanuel, fantastic, emotional, talk there. I really hope that gets talk, sorted. Thanks for sharing that story for us. So, amazing assembly. Thanks so much for joining us. I think the polling is now closed. We've got some results on there which you can have a look at. But all that's left for me to say is thanks very much. And if you want to stick around, grab yourself a cup of tea. It's not tea and biscuits in a hall, but if you've got tea and biscuits, grab them and stick around to have a chat in some of our breakup groups. See you later, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Hey.
Bye.
So if people want to stick around, we're going to start doing breakout rooms. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Breakout rooms are coming at you.
Not sure.
How do I hang on? Oh, I'm going to stop recording. That's the first thing.
Just have a look on the door.